Good evening, everybody. Sammy Thunder here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. It has been a full week of just kind of taking in a little bit, scaling back, just trying to kind of recalibrate myself in a way so that I can come back fresh and really start the week off on the right foot going forward. And so the start of the week is back, you guys, and I'm really glad to be back to share that with you. Now, I did receive some emails over the course of the past 2 weeks, and I do want to say thank you guys for sharing more of your cards. If I didn't pick your card to showcase tonight, fear not, because I will add it on to future episodes that we do. And as you know, the start of the week is every Monday, so we are going to continue that forward. Now, for those that are new, that are watching this for the first time, or you may have watched it before and you want to participate, please feel free to do so. My email address is listed above, sammythundercards@gmail.com. You can share with me a photo of the card that you have and share a little story if you want. But most importantly, I would just ask to share your name. Your first name is fine, nickname is fine, however you want to present yourself. And so that will allow me to share your card on the next week's video and kind of I can do a little research on it and kind of find out some more information to share with everybody else. So email me there if you guys are interested in wanting me to share some of your cards, as this is going to be the framework for every Monday. So I picked out, I think, 6 cards for this episode, and it's a good variety of different stuff. You really kind of cover pre-war. I think there's a 50s card. There's definitely like a 60s, I think, in there. Even a 1980s card as well. So a lot of really good variety that you guys have shared with me. And so we're going to jump right into it. Let me bring up the presentation. And the first card is a pretty big doozy. John, who has been a familiar favorite of ours, he's been sharing some great pre-war cards. He's sharing with us here the 1910-11 Sporting Life card of Chief Bender. Based on what I've seen, this set has a number of different variations, different background colors to it, the pastel being a pretty popular one amongst the set. Based on when I was looking at the pop report, I think the pastel is probably the more favorable one that people like because there's more graded copies of it. And so I included on the top there, the pop report has 47. There he has a grade of 5, so there are 7 of those 47 that are graded a 5 and only 13 graded higher. This is a great looking card, John. Just a little backstory about this set based on some research that I did. I'm going to read my notes, so I'm looking off the camera for a minute. But the unnumbered cards were sold. This is a little brief overview. Just a brief fact. I want to share one fun fact about the set because there's a lot to know. But the unnumbered cards were sold by mail in 12 card lots issued in 24 series, with the final 3 series being the rarest. This final group of 72 cards has over, quote unquote, over 300 subjects printed on the reverse, while the majority of the set have various ads from the weekly paper on the backs. So, fun fact about John's card here is that he has one from that final group of 72 cards. The back does show the over 300 subjects on there. So, according to what PSA states on their biography about, or according to what PSA states about this card's history, is that this is one of the rarest cards or tougher cards to find comparatively to the remainder of the set. And just going off of memory here, this card you could get these sets by reading the Sporting Life magazine, I believe. Not as familiar with this particular set overall, but it sounds like in the age of tobacco cards, this was kind of if you weren't a tobacco chewer or a smoker for that reason, for that fact, then you could read the magazine and get these cards in the mail. So better alternative than smoking or chewing tobacco, but Still a great card. And so, John, thank you so much for sharing. This was a really cool, fun treat to see. So let's move on to the second slide. So George is another guy that has shared cards here before. This card needs no introduction. We know this player very well, Curt Flood. This is his rookie card or first year card. 1958 tops. The rookie card, I guess, is how I classified it here. The pop report, not surprised. This shows a very high population. It's a very popular card in the set, being that it's his first year. 1,469 cards have been graded overall with PSA. George has the luxury of having this in a 7, so there have only been 299 7s graded and only 120 higher graded Curt Flood. So that's pretty special to have a really nicely graded copy of the Curt Flood. But more importantly, when you look at this card, the centering on it, the registration on it, it really looks immaculate and a really an eye catcher if you are building the 58 set or a Cardinals collector or Curt Flood player collector. This kind of hits a lot of check boxes. I know my time as a dealer, I had a lot of buyers that were always looking for higher graded cards, and especially when it comes to Curt Flood, who's really just like that borderline Hall of Famer. This is a card that really hits a lot of people's collections, and I think being the higher grade, it uh, definitely makes it more appealing. But George, this is fantastic. Super glad that you're able to pick this up, and I imagine you're keeping this in your collection for some time. So thank you, George. This is pretty cool. Phil's kind of hitting that spot. I love bazookas, and the bazooka panel from 1965 is pretty special. You just don't see the panels too often, especially at shows. The bigger shows, you see them at select tables. Even the National, you only see them at select tables. So to see them in a panel together is pretty special. They're not easy to find. And what's really cool about this is Phil shared this with me, obviously, and this has a pop report of only 2 with SGC graded. I didn't check PSA or any of the other grading companies, but to see that only SGC is graded 2 is pretty remarkable, and Phil has 50% of the graded copies out there, so that's pretty special. And obviously this one hits really well because it does feature Mickey Mantle, and typically with these bazookas, they were featured on the boxes that were issued that year, and traditionally they were cut out of the box, and you can cut them individually for individual to have the cards individually set. But and a lot of times I think that was the case, but to find them in a complete panel is very special. Especially the Mantle. This makes it very desirable amongst collectors to find the panel still intact, and so Mantle really kind of elevates that status. So Phil, very special card. Really awesome for you to share that here. I know a lot of people are probably just drooling over it right now, so very cool card. Moving on. So Thomas shared with me here his 1954 Topps Yogi Berra. This is definitely one of my favorite sets overall. The 65 was the first set that got me into the hobby, and I really still love that set, but the 54 really kind of just captivated my attention. And so the one that it shows in popularity, the Pop Report shows that this was graded, or this Yogi Berra cards, 2,789 were graded with PSA. Thomas has a 4, and 4s in general have a pop report of 579 total graded, and there are 1,398 higher graded Yogi Berras out there. But in regards to Thomas's particular card, it looks incredible for a 4. The register, I'm just looking at it on my big screen right now to get a better look. But the registration on it looks phenomenal. The green really kind of comes through so well. The reason why I like this set so much is because you kind of get everything together. You get an action shot, actually 2 action shots with this Yogi Berra card. You got like an action shot of him swinging the bat with the glove crouched down. You get the facsimile on the bottom. You got the the team logo, and literally everything about this card is just stunning. And I kind of favor more cards with having a solid color background. Call it the pop art lover of me in me. Um, just kind of creates like high, good, bright colors. Really brings the set out with the orange, red, yellow, blue, green, you name it. I mean, I can't show it right now, but I have my maze that Jake sold to me a long time ago. So, Thomas, thank you so much for sharing this card. It's always a special sight to see a 54 tops, and it looks great to have it in your collection, I'm sure. So JT is back. 52 Redman Willie Mays. This is quite a popular set. I know Jake, Legends Never Die, absolutely loves this set. And I have started looking into getting a 52 Redman Willie Mays. Having it with the tab completes it for me. It's always nice to find these with tabs. There's something about the completion aspect of it that really makes it special. And I will tell you from my experiences, when I went to Shriners, I only saw this 52 maze in just in general with the 300 tables that were there. Only one table had a 52 maze, and I think it must have been a 5 or a 6, and it was going for big money. So while this set is not super scarce, I will say that it can be tough to find this card. I mean, Maze, the 52, is second year, his first Redman card. It's a very popular card. And so I got some information. The Redman has been on my mind lately for obvious reasons because I want to get the card, but I didn't realize that the Redman tobacco cards, as you see, were born out from the Pinkerton Tobacco Company. The Pinkerton Tobacco Company, I think, expanded into ultimately the Redman tobacco set. That's what I've gathered so far. I'm still kind of piecing things together, and I'm hoping to deliver more information on that Pinkerton tobacco lineage because of the Mathewson card that I have. But going back to the Redman, this is what I have here. For just 20 cents, you got a pouch of Redman tobacco and one awesome 3.5 by 4 inch baseball card with its tab. Exchange 50 tabs, so you rip the tabs off, and you got one free big league style felt baseball cap of your favorite team. I think Jake has both. I think he has both of these, which is pretty amazing. This made cards with tabs much harder to find and values 2 to 10 times higher. So yeah, I'd imagine a lot of those tabs were getting pulled because you had a lot of loyal customers who would buy the packs, and you would get 50 cards, and you submit the tabs back, and you get that cap. I mean, those caps must be tougher to find. I know Jake probably had some information about this, so you should check Jake out. You should check Jake's channel out and look into this. It's pretty cool. But JT, you shared a bunch of Redmans in your email. I'll try to circle back and add some more for future episodes. But this is definitely a beautiful card. Definitely one I'm looking for. Probably in a lower grade, like a 2 or a 3. It's kind of just because it's more in my wheelhouse in terms of spending. But thank you for sharing yours. It looks awesome. And let's keep on going. So we move on to Bizza Rizza Jizza. He's been a contributor since, I think, week 1. And so he's back here, and he has a really cool 1982 card. Let me see if I need to get some of my notes shown on my screen here, so bear with me for a second. Okay, so Bizza shared the 1982 Columbus Clippers Don Mattingly card, the minor league card. So we know very well the 1984 Donruss. We know very well the 1984 Topps, and I think the Fleer as well. So there's a lot of variety in his rookie cards, and Mattingly is just a household name when it comes to Yankees fiefdom. So, but this is pretty cool. And so just some background on it from what I've seen. The 1982 Columbus Clippers police card, tougher card to find compared to his 84 rookie. This was his minor league card that was what I believe was distributed in the city of Columbus by the Columbus Police Department. The back shared some fun facts about the team, the player, and a fun crime tip for kids to play safely. So this card is a pop report of 92. There's 24 of the 92 have been graded 7, and there are 32 graded higher. So this is pretty cool. I think it's for anybody that wants to kind of step away from the Tops and the Fleer and the Donruss. This is a great card to add to your collection, especially if you're a Mattingly fan. And so Bizza Rizza Jizza, I think he's a Mets fan, funny enough. But he's not going to be biased towards only Mets cards. He'll collect some cool cards that are kind of out there, and so this one is definitely out there. So congratulations, Bizza. This is really cool. I believe that's the last card. Yes, that is. So we will come back here. So yeah, you guys know I went to Shriners. I shared the Shriners video, and I was on a couple of live streams, and I shared some of the cards I picked up then, but I'll share them again now in case you guys haven't seen it. I was really excited because at the Shriners show there was a dealer there who was selling a lot of those picture pack team cards that I've fallen so much in love with, and I'll share this one first. I was in awe because I never see this ever. I bought my graded one on eBay, and I couldn't believe I found a second one, but lo and behold, the Tom Seaver postcard found its way into my collection, a second one. And this one, like from 1967, this was the B&E company, I want to say, that made these photo postcards. And Seaver's in there. I think there's a number of other ones, Cleon Jones maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But the Seaver card is the key one. The back either has the Mets logo or doesn't. There's two variations. But I found this in the display case of this dealer, this guy named Dave, had it for 150. I just picked it up immediately. I understood the specialness of this card. It's, as I always call it, the alternative rookie card, because you have the Tops 67, and there is a bigger, like a picture pack card that exists, but this is a really nice alternative, and I'm super glad to have found it. From the same table, this was the 1963 the J Publishing set of the San Francisco Giants. This is the envelope that had all the pictures, and I believe these were sent out or from the team. I think this was like J Publishing. I don't know too much about the history of them, but I want to say it came from the team. They would send them out to you. You get them in this envelope and the postcards. And here are the stars, a number of big stars, but beautiful, beautiful J Publishing photo of Juan Marichal in the middle of his windup. Winningest pitcher in the 60s. You can see that intensity in his face. Here's a pretty early in his career, McCovey, third or fourth year. And pretty stellar, a great left-handed hitter. 500 home runs. Orlando Cepeda. You can just tell the intensity in these guys' faces. J Publishing did a great job capturing that. Cepeda in 63. And then, of course, you got to have Willie Mays in there as well. So all great shots. All great shots of Super Legends. I think I paid like $50 for that set, which I thought was a really great deal. To round it out, I picked up my first basketball card I've gotten in quite a long time. And I saw it sitting there, and I think this has a pretty low pop report. This is from Spain. It's a yogurt company, 1985-86 Mercante, I don't know how to pronounce it. The Larry Bird, this came in both red and blue. This one is the red. The blue is a little bit tougher to find. And I thought it looked really cool, and I wanted to add it to my Larry Bird collection. It's not something I've seen before at shows. And I believe Magic Johnson is guarding him here. It looks like Magic, and Bird looks like he's driving to the hole. So, pretty cool card, and I got it for 150, or no, I think 150. I think it was marked at 175. I got it for 150. So, really cool looking card, and it will add to my small Larry Bird collection that I do have. And finally, the last pickup was actually my first pickup at Shriners. I finally got the 1940 play ball Christy Mathewson. I saw this sitting in the same display case that I got the Bird, and it was marked at 300 and I got it for 270. I thought that was a great deal. And, I've seen these cards in lower grades go for about the same price. And, I've kind of been sitting patient on this one because I knew that this one could be found pretty frequently. I can find one online, I can find one at shows. So I thought, for $300, a non-playing Days Mathewson from a great set such as the Play Ball, I thought this was a great deal and a nice little piece to add to the collection. And then there were some really cool gifts that I got from some people. Mark Hoyle, who just has like a room filled of memorabilia, gave me some really cool stuff. Gave me this really cool World Series pin. I was there, which I really wasn't. I was in existence, but barely knew what the hell was going on. So, really cool pin of the Mets vs. Red Sox World Series. I got this cool pack of baseball treasure. I don't know too much about it, but I didn't get a chance to look at it yet, which I will to open it up and take a look. It's obviously been, the seal's been broken and opened up already, so I will take a look shortly to see what's inside. I think it has a lot of Mets stuff. I can kind of see the orange and blue, so that was really cool. This is probably my favorite piece out of them all, which is the Rheingold, the sponsor beer of the Mets. And I don't know what year this is from, but this is a coaster. And so I didn't want to use it because I think it's just a cool piece of memorabilia, and I don't want condensation kind of bleeding in on it. I think Mark was saying that he has used his, and he had I think he has, I don't know how many he has of these, but this is pretty cool. I don't know who the hitter is supposed to be. If it's a left-hander, I have to look into that. So, this is pretty cool. A whole case of Nolan Ryan cards. I think there's more in there besides Nolan Ryan, but I think this is from a particular set, the 1991 Pacific, and it's authorized by Nolan Ryan on the back. I don't know if this is the Nolan Ryan Express set, but here's some more that Mark gave me. Him on the Rangers. It's truly remarkable the kind of career that Nolan Ryan had. I mean, his arm was just had an absolute natural gift, and it was really thanks to the Angels pitching coach in '72 or '73 that really got him going because he noticed mechanic issues that Nolan was experiencing and was able to right the ship and kind of get him in the right direction. And obviously, we see what he's become. So those were my pickups. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, I'm glad to be back again. This was a lot of fun. And Wednesday, I will circle back to do more card show talks, kind of fill in some gaps, and kind of continue the discussion we had from weeks ago. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Thank you again for watching. Subscribe if you're new. A lot of card shows coming up, which is always exciting. So I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.